Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video. So today we're gonna learn. Basically, we'll implement a functionality where our player will, collide with spike actually, and whenever it gets spike, like it will collide with a spike. Player get destroy. So this functionality we are going to implement. Yeah, as you can see in my screen. Um, so basically we have a player object, right? Uh, also we have like destroyer, right? And we have response, repositioned object, right? So what we are going to say, what we are going to implement here is like the way when spikes get was colliding with destroyer game object, it was repositioning, right? The same way uh, we will use the same function, but just putting a condition like whenever it will collide with game object, player object, so the player object should be destroyed actually. So how we gonna do this? First of all, we'll select the player game object, then we'll just put collider, so that this will helpful to detect collision whenever this collider will be collide with the spike collider. We can detect here like we need to destroy the game object of player actually. So we'll just simply I'll increase the size of my collider, as you can see. So just do this, right? And I think that's it. What we are going to do here is uh we'll just simply you know do, because currently if you open the spike script which is attached in this game object, pipe game object, right? We need to just double click on it. So we are checking that on trigger enter 2D function whenever the collision will happen. What we are saying, uh, the, the game object which is spike only should be repositioned um, to the object, this one, the reposition object, right? uh, so what we are gonna do here, we'll just simply put a check here for that, to distinguish these two game object, like whether the spike is colliding with player object or destroyer, right? So destroyer, for destroyer we need to reassign the position, reposition it, and when it gets collide with player, player should destroy, right? So we will distinguish by using tags actually. So you just go um, tag section in the inspector, top menu, you'll see tag section, right? Just click on it, and here just add tag. Then in the tag section you can create multiple tags as you want. I have already created tag, one for destroyer and the one for my player, right? So I'm going to use it. I'm going to assign this destroyer tag for destroyer game object, my player for player object, right? So I just simply select it and just click on it and my play. So that's how my player is having my play I mean player game object is having my player tag. The same way, you will select destroyer game object, and you have to select a destroyer game object, destroyer tag for the destroyer game object, right? Now in spike script, we will simply say if other means the object from which this spike is going to be attached, right? Collide, right? So if the other dot game object dot tag equals to which one, destroyer. So it will, if it is a destroyer, that means for that we need to just reposition, right? The same way, if the other game object, which is in our case going to be player, right? So if the other game object's tag is my player, so just simply destroy which one, other game object, right? That's it, nothing else. Just click it, and whenever it's okay, fine, just Right now you will just simply check whether it's working or not. Press play, right? And you see when the collision happen, um, player get destroyed. Again we will see collision happen and player got destroyed, right? Now we'll implement a functionality. So when we click on a screen, then only platform should move. Currently it's moving, right? So it should not move only when we click on when we click on tab to play, then only it should work, right? It should move. So for that we have a script, right? Is game we have a boolean variable in game controller script. Is game started, right? Which we are doing in here, which we are making true, right? So first of all we are going to make this make a static variable so it can be shareable and we can access any script, right? So public uh, static type of my game variable is game controller. That name of the game name of the variable or game object is name. Object name is instance. Then I'm going to assign this with the help in a await function. So await function is basically used when we want to initialize something, right? So here we want to initialize this instance object. So we'll checking if instance equals to null, then instance equals to this. This means we are assigning with this object, with the object of this class actually. So yeah, now we have successfully assigned it. Now we will do one more thing is this game is this is game start is a public variable, right? I mean it's a not a public variable. It's in what to say. It's a private variable, so we cannot access in other script, right? So we'll make a property for it so that we can access this thing, this variable. Public bool is game started, right? So we are doing here is game started, then this will return and get will give the value of is game started. And set will with this set we can set the value also, so we will use this to get this property to get this variable in other script, right? So for that here we are just simply need to check like if game controller in the update function will do simply game controller dot instance dot uh, is game started property is true, then only spike thing will work, like spike should move. That's it, not big thing, right? um Now let's see whether it's working or not. Click on play button. Now spikes are not moving, right? When I press on screen it should move, right? It was moving. Again we just said do. Now currently it's not moving. If I press it's moving, right? And when it get collide it will destroy, like player gets destroyed. Again we just try, right? But some collider thing is like colliding. Let's see where it is happening. So this is the player, right? And players collider is there. And spike if you go, so okay, because of this it's getting destroyed, right? Let's see one more time. Okay, so now what is happening? This object is also having a collider, right? This object means this one, uh, the main collider. So whenever it's getting and the script is also attached with this, right? So it's whenever it's like it's hitting, so this is going to be destroyed, right? So what we are going to do for that, uh, we make a variable called we will create a script called pipe actually. Okay, pipe. Yeah, you can give it a spike is already there, right? So we'll use pipe script, pip, and pipe script is going to be assigned uh, here only. uh, just what you need to do, just go to script this one, spike, and just copy this function here. And we do not need destroyer thing, we only want this thing, right? uh, what we are going, rather just remove this condition here from here. uh, and Now this pipe script is going to be assigned in all the spikes, which is a child of, like this one is having spike, right? So this will use for repositioned. And for spike thing, we will assign one more script called um you know uh, pipe, right? Then we need to just check this like trigger on the is trigger on property, and just save this. Now also we need to apply, so apply, right? Then disable this game object. Now if I implement, like if I just press, and if I press, see, it's working fine, right? There is nothing issue, there is no issue, right? Yeah. So this is how we have implemented player functionality with the player collision functionality, like whenever player are hitting with the spike, you can see that game is getting, like player is destroying, right? See, now in the next video we will basically um, increase the speed. Like initial speed should be lesser than as the player, I mean game gets progressed, then speed will increase. Also we'll implement a score functionality as well in that um, script, so in that video, right? So yeah, that's it for this video. We'll see in the next video.